Hello everyone, this is Masood House for Pondering Nerds. I'm with Nate Rowe,
What's up?
Makisha Brown,
Hi guys.
and Alyssa Spector.
Hey.
And we're going to be talking about net neutrality. And if you've been paying attention at all to this topic, it's been really crazy for the last couple weeks. If you're not in the know, basically the entire internet runs by different speed. Well, can run by different speeds, but there was a agreement a while back that all websites will be created equal. Right now, that's being challenged. There are lobbyists going to Washington to change this, and they want to make it so that if you're basically a mom and pop website, as I like to call it, a small time website, you probably are going to be on a slower pace. And if you are like part of a bigger, website, or you can afford to, pay for premium speeds, you'll be able to like go at regular speed or fast speeds. The problem with this, of course, is that people see it as being the first step to just destroying everything that's great about the net, and that's what we're here to speak about. So, Nate, I know what we were talking about in the Pondering Nerds pre-show gaming or whatever you want to call it. That there's a John Oliver clip that I just saw yesterday. It's been out for a few days from his new show, and it was really humorous, and it really talked about a lot of the problems. So, Nate, I think you watched it too, right?
Yeah, I watched it, man, and I mean, he makes one of the things that I really love about it is, he makes. I love these shows where they break it down so that the calmest of common man can understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the time, when stuff like this happens, when you hear stuff like net neutrality, and you're talking about the CEO of companies, and this person's getting hired on into the government and stuff, I mean, it just goes over your head. You know what I mean? You kind of lose sight of what's actually happening. And I mean, a lot of the comments that he made, although in joke form, they are very true facts. You know what I mean? I forget the name of the guy. I would have to rewatch the video, but. Somebody just got hired on who's like the head lobbyist it's Google, correct?
No, for Comcast.
For Comcast, I'm sorry, that's right.
He used to be either for Comcast directly or for just those Cablevision type companies in general, but something like that.
That's what's up. Yeah, and either way, I mean, I love the comparison that John Oliver made. He said that's like needing a babysitter and hiring a dingo. You know what I mean? That's just, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's monopoly at its finest. It's flat out monopoly by these companies is what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? It's exactly like a Walmart moving into a small town and totally down everything else. You know what I mean? So I personally, then again, I don't stop shopping at Walmart. So I mean, they got low prices all day. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's hard to say, I guess, this early how it would affect us, but I mean, I love that this stuff is coming out, especially on the mainstream shows like John Oliver's and stuff. You know what I mean?
See, now one of the really bad things that he pointed out was that there's a bit of a manipulative side to things where he pointed out, like how you said with the monopoly, that there's almost like I think he compared it to a mafia thing going where they stay out of each other's territory. Like, there's not even a choice for the common person to say, well, I'll take Time Warner or I'll take Comcast. There's a lot of places where there's only one particular provider. And, they also pointed out that Netflix came in a conflict with Comcast because there was some agreement that they were conflicted with. And because they weren't coming to an agreement on it, Comcast started making it slower for people to like watch videos on Netflix, which of course impedes Netflix's ability to get customers. And the only way that they got to the agreement was when, of course, Orange is the New Black was about to was being prepared to come out, and I guess Netflix gave in or something like that, and all of a sudden, boom, their download speeds go much faster, their streaming speeds. So, Makisha, with all this in mind, like, how do you feel about all of this with net neutrality, the cable providers, the lobbyists, kind of like maybe taking over in the White House?
Yeah, it's such blatant greed and just it just shows how these few corporations have such power over our day-to-day usage of online services and places of entertainment. Like, it's this net neutrality issue has such an impact on what we use every day, and that affects our quality of life, really, and just the freedom of information, and the I don't know, just the chance of different online businesses to
And we're
to be
not even getting the
successful.
best speeds, you know, like they actually pointed
And
out
we're not
in
even getting the best
videos.
speeds already. Like,
Yeah,
other countries have faster speeds than us.
Yes, yeah.
And that's like just the norm for them. Like, wow.
They said we're behind Estonia. You know,
That's what I
Estonia.
was thinking. Which country we were behind? In Estonia, of all
Yeah.
places.
Like, what the hell,
We're
man?
paying more than most other countries, but we're getting far slower speeds, and it's insane that, you know, it's so manipulative. It's like a dystopian future, but you know, it just looks clean and normal. But you
Korea
know,
is laughing at us right now. That's
By the way, I love that line about Estonia. He was like, and the people of Estonia are still worried about Shrek attacks.
yeah, like this, you know, that's a no, you know, to any of our Estonian listeners out there, you know, no offense to you guys, but we claim to be like, you know, the greatest country in the world, and we have all these shady, like it feels like we're being run by Lex Luthor and the, you know, the Legion of Doom, you know, undercover or something, you know. Like, Alyssa, do you have anything to weigh in on this? Like, it's just insane.
I've thought that for a while. Like, it just feels like we're a third country in denial. You know, this is just another aspect of it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the whole net neutrality thing, but from what I got from the gist of it is just, you know, I don't think it's right that, you know, they have to slow down our internet just to give it to these bigger companies, you know.
Yeah, and I don't even really see what's the point. Like, I don't know if there's some kind of, like, I know with our computers there's RAM and all that. I don't know if there's some kind of, you know, like, thing that's, like, you know, messing up, I don't know, like, the total speeds of, like, the entire internet. I don't know if, like, you know, changing the resources around will help that, but it just feels like they're catering, you know. It just feels like, well, forget all those other websites, you know, we're gonna, like, take over. And it doesn't even feel necessary. Like, the internet is supposed to be that one thing where, I mean, unfortunately, it does distract people with, like, stupid cat videos, cat pictures. There's porn all over the place. But on the same token, you have scientists sharing, you know, information. You have small-time, you know, websites that have, like, art and fashion and gaming.
Yeah,
And
it's also gonna kill businesses. It's
yeah.
You know.
I'm saying, yeah.
Because then it feels like the thing that it feels like is like maybe Comcast and all these other cable providers are like worried that, you know, there's all these streaming things coming out. There's all these, you know, there's all these things on the internet that are taking over that realm, like TV and all the other stuff. And like, even though they control, you know, the internet, they still want to control it even more, you know, and just say, well, if you want to do this, now you have to come to us and you're going to have to pay us. And this is how we're going to be able to stay alive in this new paradigm. And it's just like, you guys have to get, you know, change with the times, you know. It just feels like they're kind of like getting stuck behind because, you know, nobody really wants to go on cable television anymore. They're charging people like $200-$300 for, like, you know, not even good channels, and everyone rather pay $8 a month instead of $200 a month to get Netflix or Hulu or something, you know. So
it's just another place where corporations can make more money. Like, I don't know, I can't help but think about how this kind of reminds me of like all these corporations making money off of the new business in weed, while other people are like behind bars. It's just like all this new money that they're looking at. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. And it, you know, like I don't know how political everyone is, but it, you know, for whether you like Obama or whether you hate him, you know, you do have to be a little alarmed that, you know, he would choose the guy, you know, as me and Nate were saying earlier, that he would choose the guy who was formerly in charge of lobbying for, you know, these companies. It's like if the FCC wanted to go over cigarettes again, and, you know, whether they're dangerous, whether they should be banned, and then they hire the former president of Newport or something like that. Like, you don't do that. So, you know, if he's not doing it maliciously, or if he's not teaming up with these big time guys, then, you know, you have kind of George Bush thing where you're like, well, you're kind of missing common sense. But then if he, you know, like if he's not doing it, you know, for that reason, then it's like worrisome. If he is doing it for that reason, then it's worrisome too. I mean, he only has a couple years left, but you know, it's like we don't need, you know, the president helping the big guy. You know, like this is his whole campaign was for, you know, helping the, you know, the lower class, the middle class, and this is yet another thing where in the end we're going to get screwed. You know, like compared to everything else. You know, taxes, money. You know, we need the internet. It's the only thing that keeps us going. You know, let us keep our cat pictures, our porn, our video games, and let us live, please. You know.
I mean, the internet, with the whole thing about it, to me also, is just, I mean, it would affect, it would just impact everybody on such a detrimental level. I mean, nowadays, when we have stuff like Google, I mean, who goes to the library and uses the Dewey Decimal System anymore? I mean, nobody. Like, that died when Google came out. I mean, now we just live in an age where everything is at our fingertips that we need to know, really. And,
hey man, support our libraries. I go to libraries, man.
Read a book.
And is this affecting internationally? You know, because I mean, the internet is, you know, like I don't know if anyone ever seen the picture that came out some years ago, but the internet is basically a whole bunch of cables that run all around the world undersea, and you know, it's I don't really know if someone technically owns it, but it's supposed to be out there for everyone. And it was supposed to be able to bridge everyone together. So this is another thing where we're splitting apart. And if there's anything that we need to keep in mind for like the future for like all of humanity, it has to be keep everything together, keep everything for like progressive reasons. Don't take away like one of the simplest things in the world and just slap a price tag on it, you know? And that's pretty much, I don't know if anyone else has anything to add, but that's like the only thing I can think of left before I like go crazy, so.
Nail on the head, guy. Nail on the head.
Well, if any of you out there are listening and you have anything to say on net neutrality, please drop us a comment. If you have anything to add that maybe we missed, you know, maybe we drop that as well. We can continue this in another discussion. And I think there's a video that came out years ago, like a humor video that I want to add. So look out for that too. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.